Right then, welcome back. Today, what we're doing, we are doing Italy versus Japan. 5 races, a variety of naked bikes and sports bikes and various other bits and bobs. Different locations in Japan and Italy. And the first one is at Imola. I chose the Phaser 1000 because it makes a nice noise, makes a really nice noise. And it was a bit of carnage. The first go through, the AI were just mental as normal, and the bike wasn't quite set up right, and it was all over the shop. It was getting upset by me throwing it over curves because it was responding much faster than bikes I've used recently. So there was a bit of a steep learning curve on this one. I was just as bolshy as they were, shoving people out of the way through chicanes, not particularly proud, but oh well. And it was just a bit scrappy, and ended up down in 7th. Massive gap to the leader, binned it, and just thought, nah, I'm done. We'll go and have a play with this setup. So I stuck a load more support on the front of the bike, went to a hard front tyre, and thought I'll give it another go. And well, it went alright. One down. Where are we going next? I think we are going to Sugo. Sugo GP with a horrible chicane halfway around the last corner. I was going to use the MV Brutali Sirio Oro thingy-majigger, but it's just another inline 4, so I thought I'd mix it up and go with the Ducati 1200 Monster. I do like a good V-twin. So mucked about with the setup, did what I thought it wanted, and we gave it a shot and it went alright. Just the one go on this one and all was well. Job done. Still don't like that chicane. Hate that chicane halfway around the last corner. Not necessary. Absolutely not necessary. Next up, Monza. And this is where I got a little bit confused because I hadn't looked through the events and tried to work out what bikes I was using and this, that and the other, and I'd planned a lovely strategy of using naked bikes all the way through that I'd not used, and just a bit of a mix and a match, and use Japanese bikes on the Italian tracks and vice versa. And then I click on this one and it's 600s. I was like, what? So I tried to find a 600 that I'd not used. It was the Kawasaki, and I had to paint the wheels and muck about and do everything else. And it's Monza, and I can never set the bike up properly, but it's just so fast. 16,000 RPM on a motorcycle is just unnecessary. It's not required in this world, but it sounds good, and this one went alright. So 3 down, 2 to go. And from this point on is where things got a little bit, what's the word? A little bit squiffy. It just went a bit wrong. So the next race we are at Kanto. I can't remember what circuit. Kanto something. We are Kanto South at night, and it's on the big boys, the 1000cc sports bikes. And I was like, what do I want to use? Do I want to use a Japanese bike? Not really. I'd rather use something Italian. What haven't I used? And I settled on, well, probably the quickest, or one of the quickest bikes in the game, the Aprilia RF. Now, I like the 2010 version. It's lovely. Handles really well. It's got a lovely power delivery. Really good for tracks with long corners that you need to gently get on the gas and all that jazz. Kanto South, not massively familiar with it, not been here for quite a while. On a very quick bike, so it was a bit of a recipe for disaster. And I quickly worked out that the setup wasn't quite right and the tyres were very, very, very wrong. And the bike just would not stop. It was sliding about all over the place. I was having to make wild moves up the inside of people, and in the end I got on the brakes too late and just slammed it into the barrier and thought, nope, we're going to start that one again. So mucked about with the setup, give it a bit more support on the front, thought about changing the tyres, and we went again. And it was better, but still wasn't right. And, well, yeah, it was just a bit ugly. And the bike was still sliding too much. Into this corner, get on the brakes, and there's just no grip. The controller's vibrating like mad, and the bike just slides out from underneath itself. I couldn't do any more support on the front. I was running maximum spring hardness. I might be able to turn the compression down a bit. And I thought, well, I can't really do anything else. We'll try again. And again, got a bit giddy, in here too fast, clipped the curb, sent the bike into orbit. No good. Carried on. Experience was needed of how to kind of make the bike last the full 5 laps. Miles behind second, crashed out, no good. I stick a medium tyre on the rear, and it worked. It gave me just the right amount of support to let me get through. still wasn't a walk in the park. We only had, what, a second, 2 seconds at the end? Yeah, only a 2-second gap, so it was pretty stressful. But it was a good race, and I learnt a valuable lesson in running a harder rear tyre if the bike's not behaving properly. Last event. Suzuka circuit in the rain. And I wanted to use a bike I'd not used before, and I settled on the 19 ZX10R SE. Now, if my research serves me correctly, the SE models of Kawasaki's are the ones with the fancy suspension, the electronic adjustable suspension. Now, I don't know if Milestone have mapped that suspension algorithm into the game, but this is the only bike I've ever ridden in the rain that felt like it was gripping properly. It had so much grip on this track, it melted my brain for a little while. And the AI, yet again in the rain, were not taking any crap whatsoever. They were on it straight away, pushing, shoving up the inside, swooping past. Hands up, the setup wasn't right. I didn't have enough support on the front, so the front tyre was getting massively overloaded. But this first race, I scrapped through. There was quite a large penalty on it, and, well, let's just say I could have thrown the motorcycle over the finish line when it all went a bit wrong. One thing was clear, the AI were very quick. The only part of the track where I was noticeably faster was through 130R into this last chicane. So it was a case of having to work out how to try and get past them. I didn't do it through the chicane, but I got close enough to get a draft down the straight and get past. So last lap, go in here and just lose the front. It just slid. There was very little grip. The front tyre's not having a good time of it. I made a complete mess of getting back on the bike and getting going. 1.8 second penalty. I was keeping an eye on the gap in the top left corner, and it came down to a smaller number than the penalty. So yeah, 5 laps in the rain, getting stressed out second, and we had to do a restart. So we give it a bit more support and we go for it again, and this one goes alright. It works out just fine. that, campers, is your lot. 5 events, 5 golds, 5 rounds of, well, 4 rounds of fighting with the AI. It was a good event. I enjoyed it. It was nice to mix things up, because we've not done it for a while. We've been doing the endurance races. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Sling me a like, a subscribe, hit the bell of pleasure, and all the usual jazz. And I will see you next time. Stay safe. Peace.